Hello, and thank you for watching this video about reference points. A reference point is a place or object used for comparison to determine if something is in motion. Basically, you're finding something to look at in order to decide if you or something else that you see is moving or not. You're using that object as a reference. Let's use an example. Let's say you are in a car about to leave home and go to the store. You aren't moving yet, but how do you know? That may sound like a silly question, but you know because you are using something or many things around you as reference points, such as a tree, or the driveway, or your house. These are all examples of reference points that you can use to determine whether or not you and the car are moving. When you and the car are sitting still, you can look at the tree and the house and the driveway and see that your distance to all of them isn't changing. However, if you start to drive away, you can look at the tree and the house and the road and see that they all appear to be getting further away from you. Now you know that the tree and the house and the driveway are all stuck to Earth's surface. They aren't moving or going anywhere, so it must be you who is moving away from them. You can look at these objects sitting still on Earth's surface and know that you are moving. But we don't have to use only objects that are stuck on Earth's surface as reference points. We could use moving objects too. Let's say you're driving next to another car, and that car is going the same speed as you. You're driving along looking at the other car, and since you're both moving at the exact same speed next to each other, it doesn't look like either of you are moving. If you use only the other car as a reference point and ignore everything else outside that you see, you are both not moving. Relative to the red car, you aren't moving. You could look at the driver inside of your car too, and relative to them, you aren't moving either. Now, I know this sounds really silly because both you and the other car definitely are moving because you're in a moving vehicle. But relative to or compared to the other objects around you moving at the same speed, it doesn't look like you guys are moving. That's why when we're discussing movement, it's important to choose a reference point that makes sense for that situation. In most cases, when discussing moving objects or figuring out if something is moving or not, it makes the most sense to use objects that are stuck to Earth's surface or are sitting still, like trees and buildings. You know that if a tree or building appears to be moving toward or away from you, you know that it's you that's moving.